Good morning, everyone, and happy Sabbath. What an incredible story. Jesus fed 5,000 people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Isn't it amazing? And wonderful, really, that God not only takes care of our spiritual needs, the things that we need to be saved for eternity. This He showed by preaching to the multitude so long that everybody got hungry before they even realized that they were hungry. But also our God promises to take care of our physical needs as well, because He loves us so much and He knows our every need before we even express it. Now, the memory verse for today is found in Philippians chapter 4:19, and it says, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus." Let us pray. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for looking after us and keeping us safe this week. As we learn more about you, please help us to share what we've learned with others. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hi kids! This song is called God Takes Care of Me, and it's all about how God takes care of you and me. Join in with the actions. And remember, one of the parts to remember is God takes care of me, He takes care. Do it with me. God takes care of me, He takes care. Join in with all the actions. Just like the birds in the sky so high, God takes care of me, He takes care. Just like the moon and the stars at night, God takes care of me, He takes care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. God takes care of me, He takes care. God takes care of me, He takes care. Like a mother protects a little child, God takes care of me, He takes care. Just like Moses on the river Nile, God takes care of me, He takes care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. God takes care of me, He takes care. God takes care of me, He takes care. Like the lilies in the field so white, God takes care of me, He takes care. Just like Jonah in the whale 3 nights, God takes care of me, He takes care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. God takes care of me, He takes care. God takes care of me, He takes care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. Oh, oh, You take care. God takes care of me, He takes 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 care. Well done.
For today's craft, we're going to make a basket with 5 loaves and 2 fish, okay? So we're gonna have a little bit of fun with it, and you'll be able to be as creative as you want to be, but basket with 5 loaves and 2 fish. Let's get started. You're going to need a paper plate. If you don't have it, just have another maybe thicker sheet of paper, white or any other color, and I'm gonna show you an alternative. You'll probably have a paper plate. Also, I'm gonna use some construction paper of different colors, and that can be pretty much any color you want. Now, if you don't have it for some reason, that's perfectly fine. You can simply use some colors, right? So you can color in on the white with the colors. But this will be a little bit more fun, also a little bit more complex. And then I'll still have some colors to paint and color something in. You will also need scissors. And very importantly, you're gonna need a stapler. Now, if you don't have a stapler, you can use glue or even Scotch tape. So those are options, but stapler is a little bit easier in this case. So I'm just gonna stick to the stapler. And also you're gonna need a pencil and a ruler. That one is rather important, although you could figure your way out without it, but this would really, really help. So let's get started. First, we're gonna make the basket, and then we're gonna make fish and bread. But for the basket, we're gonna use the plate, and what we wanna do, we wanna cut the plate in half. For that, you can just quite simply fold your plate over. Just make sure the edges align. So it's like this. Whoops, I think I have two plates here. That's why it was a little bit harder to fold. So just one plate at a time. Well, just one plate really. So fold over on the edges, and you can have this crease, and then with this crease, you know where to cut. So literally just cut the plate in half. There we go. All right, so there it is. We're gonna make a basket that is gonna sit together like this. But before we, stick it together, we're gonna decorate it a little bit. And now that part, you can do it as simple or as complicated as I'm gonna make it. Up to you, up to your level and your craftiness. So you could take your colors and just, decorate the basket any way you want. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually make a pleated type of a basket look. But just real quickly before I move on into this, I just wanted to show you what you could do, how you could sort of recreate this plate as a simulation, I guess, if you do not have the plate itself. So you can take a little thicker piece of paper, again, any color, and fold it in half. Fold it in half. And then you don't even have to really cut it out right now, but what you could do, use just another plate or just some sort of circular thing, or you can quite simply just draw like a basket shape, round part like this, okay? And cut it out. So make sure that you cut out you could even leave the bottom connected, it's up to you. So this way, I just cut it out to where it is a little bit connected on the bottom, you see that? Now, to make it like the plate has a little bit of depth because we do want a little bit of sort of basket opening in the middle, what you want to do for that is just cut in a few times, probably 1.5 inches. So I'll make it 1, 2, 3, 4. You probably could get away with just 2 or 3. And just grab this plate here and overlap just a little bit. You see the corner, and use the glue to glue it together. So it will look something like this. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the edge here, enough to where it can stick well. And just overlap it a little bit like this, and just hold it, let it dry. And the same I'll do on every single cut in that I made. Just a little bit of glue, and then you can, and you can see it's creating a pocket right there, like pita pocket. And to be fair, you can only do, if you want, you can just do one of them overlap and the other one keep straight, but I will do overlap on all of them, okay? So basically you go all the way around, and then later you're gonna stick it together with a stapler. And you can decorate your plate, and this is, or sorry, your basket, and this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna have proper basket with a lot of space inside when you staple it together after these foldovers are a little bit dry and they're holding together. I hope that makes sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and work with the plate that I have, and I believe most of you, if not all of you, are going to have. So here's a plate, and I'm gonna create a plated kind of a illusion. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut in some straight cuts like this. I'm gonna draw for you, but you don't have to have that drawing. So I'm gonna draw a line here, then a line here, then a line here, and just continue to go, not all the way to the bottom, but just to the where it's starting to fold over. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like this, and this is gonna do for me. Does that make sense? And you can totally do it on both of these plates. Now, so just cut it in, but don't cut it all the way through because you're gonna ruin your basket. And I'm just gonna show you on one, and then I'll do both sides as I'm on a time lapse to make it faster, so you don't have to watch the whole thing at a real time pace. Okay, so here is my basket. Now, first of all, I did draw these lines with a pencil, which actually, you know, left some lines, but you might want to just delete those lines, or just you don't even really potentially not need them at all. But what we're gonna do now, we need some colors that we're gonna weave into this basket wall. And so for that, I'm gonna grab some of my colored paper, and the colors that I decided to use for my basket are gonna be these. Now, you totally don't have to use so many colors, but I just felt like doing that. And I'm gonna use 3 colors plus sort of black little ridges, because that's gonna make it pop out and stand out, and just, I think it's gonna make it pretty. So now, first of all, just double check the length of your paper against the length of your basket here. And this is about right. You really don't have to have it all the way through, but if you want to, you can cut your paper lengthwise as well, okay? So it's up to you, you know, how you want to do it. I'm just gonna cut it like that, and that's gonna be more than sufficient for me. And you can just do cut 2 ribbons or 3 ribbons. I'm gonna do a little bit more, so I'm gonna go a little bit more narrow. So really, it's really up to you how you wanna do it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut 1 of these each, so 3 ribbons, and I'm gonna have 3 or 4 narrow black ribbons. But you can do it as complicated or as simple as you want. I'm gonna fast forward and cut it out. So here are my cutout weaves that I'm gonna put into the plate. And I'm just gonna arrange it the way that I want to arrange it, just to like make sure, and I cut out both sides of the plate. So I'm gonna do it like maybe this. Let me see. I'm just gonna do this, and maybe this. Maybe, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so there we go. This is how I'm gonna do my colors. And I'm gonna try, I think I'm gonna have too much, actually. So, let me see, I'm gonna try to do a little bit of kind of maybe black in between. So I will see how I wanna do it, okay? Maybe like that. So there it is. I decided how I'm gonna play with my colors. And now I'm gonna put that aside, just keep it in that order, although it doesn't matter, you can just kind of eyeball it. And what I want you to do is just look at the lowest. Probably I have about 3 of them that I can bring this line and cut it into about the same level, right? So they're finishing right about the same level here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and take the color that I decided to put in this place and put it behind one of them, skip one, and then again put it behind another one, skip one, and you go behind the other one. But right now, this is all I have, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. Then I'm gonna go for my next color, and instead of, and actually I'm just gonna cut it in a little bit deeper here, all the way to here, so that I can use this as well as this. And so what we're gonna do now is do the same, but now on the alternate lines, okay? On the alternate lines. So if this was on top here, so this is gonna be under, okay? And this one was under this strip, and this color is gonna go on top of that strip, okay? And then we just alternate it like that, okay? So there it is. So here is my basket so far. Then I'm gonna grab the next color and I'm gonna again alternate it. Now once more, I just double check. I think I'm ready for this to go all the way here. So I'm gonna cut it in all the way to here. This one is cut in fine. And so again, this one color was on top of this, so here is gonna go under. And you just kind of like do this for every other one of those. Okay, so there it is. Here is my basket. Okay, do you see how cool it's starting to look like a weave basket, which is most likely what they had back in those days? And so here, I'm just gonna probably throw in another, maybe yellow right now. You know what I'll do, because I want to fit more colors in, just to make it more colorful, I'm gonna cut this yellow into a narrower one, so that way I get a bit more splash of color. But you can do it as colorful or as kind of like monotone as most natural baskets would be. You can totally create whatever you want. And so basically you finish up the basket like that, and then, whoops, okay. And then when you get to the top, you want to make sure that, okay, so do a little bit of tightening up. You want to make sure that you have sealed the top. And I'll do that with the last color. So all of these, you don't need to do much of securing it because they're gonna kind of they're gonna push each other down and keep it secure this way. But the top one, you really wanna secure the very, okay, you gotta start getting a bit more careful at the top. You need to glue this together. So just 1 second, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. Ooh, it's getting trickier. Okay, so maybe if you don't have so many lines, but just have 2 or 3 of these color strips, it'll make it much easier to control it. So decide how you want to do it, okay? All right. Okay, now these are sitting very tightly in here, which I'm really happy about. And then I have last one left. And again, for the last one, I'm just gonna do like this. Actually, I could just simply do like that. I can do this way. This is what I'm actually going to do, or you can still weave it, but then at the end, you want to make sure and you glue every tip of it, okay? So there it is, okay? So my weave is complete. Again, if you want to make it a little bit less complicated or simple, simply use 2 or 3 wide strips that you kind of pop on top of each other. It'll be much easier to control, but I kind of like it a little bit more. Okay. In fact, if I'm going to cut this in a little bit, it'll give me some wiggle room. So I'm just helping myself a little bit more here to give this color here an opportunity to kind of sit right in, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab glue. Whoops. I'm gonna go ahead and grab glue and just flip back those white strips and glue it on top, okay? Just a little bit of glue and glue it on top. It's very easy to do it if you do it that way. And then I'm gonna flip my plate as well and do the same thing here. Just flip back the main plate strips and glue it on top. Okay, so there it is. And in just a minute, it's gonna set and I can trim the top so that it's even, okay? So there it is. Here's my one side of the basket. And what I'm gonna do now, in fact, my plate is not even, as dented in as I would like it to be. So I might even cut it in a little bit here, maybe like here and here. The way that I did, it's up to you. If your plate is deep, you don't need to do it. The way that I did with the makeshift plate, and just I can make it a little bit deeper, more dented in. I don't know if that makes sense, but if it did, and your plate is as shallow as mine, you can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other plate now, the same way I did this, And then when I have it all together and I'm gonna trim the edges, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna let you get on and do your plate. And just as encouragement, while you're weaving your basket, or maybe just coloring it in if you don't want it this complicated, while you're doing that, go ahead and discuss in your family about the times where God has supplied your needs. So ask your mom and dad if there were some times in their lives where God really supplied their needs in miraculous ways when they were in a dire situation, and just talk about how good God is. All right, I'll get back to you in a minute when I'm done with my basket made place. So here are my basket parts, and we need to staple it together now. And again, I'm just, because mine is quite flat, we're just gonna use a stapler to kind of staple the edges. I'm gonna make mine a little bit more, those cut ends a little bit deeper. So this, if you're doing it with the, it can be a little bit challenging to do that because it's hard to access, but if you just hold it a little bit, again, if you have a deeper plate and it creates a good enough pocket, you really don't need to do it, but I wanted a little bit more depth there. So I'll do it with both on each side, so I can have enough pocket to put my fish and bread in there. Oops, okay, that didn't do much, but I'm gonna give it another go. Let's see if I can get to it a little more. Yep, that did it. And then this right here. Okay, there we go. So I have two parts of the bowl, or rather the basket, and just put them together and staple. Now again, what you could do as you're stapling, you could also create a basket handle as well. So you can have paper like this that just serves as a basket handle. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it to show you how it's done. Now you probably want more length, so I'm just gonna quickly cut out another one of those basket handles. Whoops. I think it's a little bit wider, so I'll cut just outside the line. Or you can even put a ribbon of some sort that you have and just kind of staple it in, or you don't really need to have the basket handle, but as I came up with it now, I'll just go ahead and do it. All right, so I'm just gonna oops, okay, I did it too much on the edge. Let me just do it one more time. So if you want, again, you can just simply use a ribbon to create a basket handle. Just cut out a ribbon and do that. Or you can create it out of paper, just like what I did now. Okay, so I'm gonna use the basket handle and I'm gonna go ahead and staple it in here. So again, put your plates together, and if you want to add a handle, this is when you want to add it and where you want to secure it, And I'm just going to use a couple staples on the edge just to keep the handle well together, okay? And then here, maybe we can do it like this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and attach it on this end as well. Just make sure your basket will more or less come together nicely at the edges. And so I'm just going to go ahead and staple it like so. Okay, so here it is. I have basket with the handle. Again, you didn't have to do the handle. And I'm just gonna align it on the bottom, put a staple down the middle, just on the edge of the basket, and then just secure it in a couple more places. Maybe like that. Ask for help from your older brothers and sisters or mom or dad with the staples. And then when I've secured it, I created a basket, just pop it right back where it needs to be. You're gonna make a little bit of adjustment, just be gentle with it because it's a little bit delicate. But there it is, here's our basket. And you can carry so many things in this basket, you know, whether you have a handle or not, but this is a really cool way to put things in. So based on the story that we're working on today, Jesus fed 5,000 with how many fish? 2, that's right. And how many loaves of bread? 5, that's right. So we're gonna quickly make now 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish and put it in the basket. So let's get going. So now you can use whatever colors you want, or you can use white color, just regular paper, and then color it in with colors. I'm gonna use these 2 colors. I just wanna go all, you know, more colors for fish, and I'm gonna use these colors for my bread. So I'm gonna show you how I do it, and feel free to copy or make any other shape that you like. Now, first of all, I want to make sure that my bread is big enough to stick out. So I'm gonna make it as tall as these sheets are wide, okay? So I'm gonna make loaves of bread that come out real nicely. And again, we need 5 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pencil again and draw like baguettes. You guys like baguettes? You know what baguettes are? French baguettes of bread. So they look kind of like this. And then you have like these indentations there, okay? So again, I'm gonna draw one more here because we need 5, right? We need 5 loaves of bread. They don't have to be exactly the same, as bread never really is fully the same. And then I'm gonna do one more of this. Okay. All right, and we're gonna cut, I'm gonna cut from, on 2 sheets of paper for 2 of them, and then only the 5th one like that. So that's gonna be for bread, and also for fish, it's just 2 fish. So I decided to do 2 different colors. And again, I want my fish to stick out, so I'm gonna use the same size, maybe, yeah, right about the same size of fish across the whole thing. And the way I'm gonna do it is just quite simply this. So tail, okay, tail like that, and then fish like that, and I'm just gonna make it an open mouth fish, whoops, maybe like this fish, okay? And then I'm gonna color it in with eyes and scales, whatever I want, whatever you like. I'm gonna leave it up to you, but I cut 2 of those out. And so, and you can make a little bit of a, you know, you can really go as creative as you want to go. So maybe I'll do it like that. But go ahead and cut yours out, color it in. I'm gonna tidy this up, and let's get back together when you're done with yours. So here's my bread and my fish, and as you could see, I colored it in both sides because that way we can look at the basket from any angle and we should be fine. So again, just remembering the story, when people are hungry, disciples says, how are we gonna feed them? You know, Jesus said, hey, what do we have? What do we have? And then a boy came up with 5 loaves of bread. So 5 loaves of bread and only 2 fish. And it seems impossible to feed a number of people that they had with only this much food. But when Jesus blessed it, it was more than enough. It was more than enough because God is not limited to our limitations, and He always provides for our needs. You can actually put 1 fish on the other side as well. So I hope you enjoyed this craft, and I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you remember that Jesus is there to take care of all of our needs.
morning, children. The song that we're going to sing for you this morning is called Love the Lord Your God. Okay, it's one of our favourite songs, so I hope that you'll enjoy it. Okay, you ready?
I'm so ready for
Da 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 da. Oh yeah. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. Da 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 da. Oh yeah. I will serve the Lord with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. I will serve the Lord with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. With all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength. I will serve the Lord with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. I will serve you. I will trust you with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength. I will love the Lord with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. Da 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 da. Oh yeah. Da 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 da. Oh yeah. I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. All right, bye. We'll see you next time. I hope that you enjoyed that. Bye.